Hi guys, I'm David with MediaUnlock.net, and today we're going to be reviewing the Aputure 528C LED light. It's a pretty cool little light. As you can see, it's a nice little compact light that goes in a bag so you can take it wherever you're going to go. So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to take out everything that's in the bag and talk a little bit about it. So let's go on and open it up. So we have our front compartment here, which is just flips open like this. And what you do is you have a wall charger here. Here are the two pieces for it. So you can put a wall charger on it. They also give you a stand mount, which is really nice, so that you're able to, and you can put an umbrella on it and everything, which is really nice. It's got a little hole on it. And you just connect it into that and connect that to your stand. You do have a strap if you guys want to use a strap. And you have a few extra little tiny LED lights for if your LEDs go out. And the cool thing is they give you some 55K ones and some 32K ones, which is pretty awesome. So let's close this part up. Now this thing is about the size of an iPad. You do have a nice little pouch right here where you can put some stuff. As well, you have your light right here, which is pretty awesome. So you can actually take this piece off. It's a diffuser, so if you don't want to defuse it, you don't have to. And you have your lights right here. Now on the back, as you guys can see, I can control everything from 55K all the way down to 32K, so I can control my color temperature, which is fantastic for a light. That means that you can tell your camera what color temperature you want, then you tell your light what color temperature you want, and then your color temperature is correctamundo, which is pretty awesome. And then you can control your max percentage, and I'll show you guys here in a minute once I hook everything up. There's a little LCD right here that gives you information. You can turn on and off here. You hook up the power right here, and then you have the option for some Sony batteries. You have that option to buy some of those and put those in the back, so you have something portable, or if you have the Sony batteries and they're rechargeable, of course they should be. While you've got it plugged in, say I was using the light right now with the Sony batteries in the back, it would be charging my batteries, which is a really nice feature. As well, I have not noticed that you get that LED flicker sometimes. So sometimes you get a flicker when you're shooting video with these light panels, and what it does is it causes this flicker within your shot that you really can't get around. I have heard some of their older models had this issue. They have fixed it, so that's a really nice feature. So again, this is the Aputure 528C, and it does have a little band in here so that you are able to kind of keep it secure in the bag. So this is a very portable light. So if you have a handful of these, this would be a great on location light. You know, if you needed a light for a specific location and you didn't want to take these are pretty much what I'm using now, which are these big old Cowboy Studio lights, as you guys can probably see right here. And they work great for what they are, but they're not very portable. And they're very fragile, where this feels pretty well made. They do say that this is a waterproof model. I would not want to test that to find out if it really was waterproof. They do post that on their website. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a few specifics about this in detail. As well, we're going to hook it up. I'm going to show you the back of it lit up and everything, so you guys can kind of see what it does when it's lit up. And then what we'll do is I have two Cowboy Studio lights, like I just showed you. Let me show you the other one that we've got. We've got another one sitting over here. So we've got one of these. And so what I'm going to do now is go over a few more things about the LED light that's really cool and the price point and how you guys can order it. And then I'm going to get ready to turn off both of these lights, and I'm just going to turn on the 528C so you guys can see how much light it puts on me when it's by itself. And you know, this is not as powerful as one of these lights that I just showed you, my Cowboy Studios, but it's still really impressive at the price point. I've hooked up the AC adapter now, as you guys can see. So we're able to turn it on from the back and do the controls right here. One thing to mention, this is 528 LEDs right here. And then, and again, you're going to see how the color temperature changes with the different LEDs that do that so that you have the right Kelvin temperature. As well, they claim that the LEDs can run for about 100,000 hours before they need to be switched out. So that is a lot of time. The price point on this bad boy is about $200 to $210 if you order it on Amazon. We'll, of course, put links down below to their website as well to the Amazon if you guys are interested in checking these out. Again, these are really, really built for portable lighting. So if you really need that lighting on the go, this thing's going to be great. They're going to be great as well for indoor lighting like this, where you're doing product reviews, especially if you're doing smaller products. The actual device, if you notice, has 1/8 inch holes all the way around it for stands and tripods or whatever you want to connect it to. The only place there isn't one on the top, so you can position it like this, or you can position it like this, as you guys can see. So let's turn it on so we can turn it on, and right now I can put it down to as little as 10% or as much as 100%. So let's take a look at the difference. And it has a battery piece on the back, so it lets you know, as you guys have noticed, that how much battery life is there. Of course, it's going to be full life because I'm doing AC. So we're at 52% right now. So I can bring, we're at 10% right now. This is 100% right here, as you guys can see. And then let's bring it back down to 10%. And then we can change the color temperature. So our color temperature is at 32. So if we want to change our color temperature now, we are sitting at a color temperature of 55. So 55 to 32. So let's do that at full blast now. Let's go all the way up to and we are sitting at a color temperature of 32. And then let's shoot all the color temperature up to, we're shooting now at a color temperature of 32. And here we go to 52. So, and it shows all of that on the back as you're changing it, which is really nice. So you're able to really do a good job of controlling what you're looking for in a light. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually hook this up. We're going to turn off both of my Cowboy Studio lights, and I'm going to position this probably right back in the general direction next to the camera, and I'm going to have it pointing right at me at an angle, and try to get kind of my body shooting down. And we'll match up the color temperatures on the camera, as well as I'll match up the color temperature on the LED. And and I do have the diffuser on it. I'm going to take it off for this. You get a little bit more light if you take off the diffuser. I find, of course, that's why it's called a diffuser. It's supposed to diffuse the light a little bit, but I'm not going to diffuse the light for this. And let's take a look to see how much light it really gives me. I'm going to be using the same settings, so I will not change the settings. So you guys can kind of see a difference of how I'm lit right now versus how I'm lit with one of these bad boys by itself pointed at me. Before I put the light on myself and talk, I thought I would show you guys a side-by-side comparison of me changing the settings on the actual LED panel. So if you notice, I'm changing the brightness at the moment, and the LED is getting brighter, and now I'm changing the Kelvin temperature, and the Kelvin temperature is changing, of course, and now I'm changing it back down to, looks like 3200, and changing the brightness down to 10% probably. Yep, so I'm down at 10%. Now I'm going to bring up the Kelvin temperature. If you notice, I'm pointing out the K to let us know I'm changing the Kelvin, and the B for brightness to let you know that I'm changing the brightness of it, as well as the battery indicator right underneath that. I now have the single 528C LED light made by Aputure on me right now. We're sitting at 4300 Kelvin. So that's the only setting I changed on my camera from when you guys were watching me with the Cowboy Studio lights. And this is a single LED light. It is 528 LEDs. And again, the only thing I changed was the Kelvin temperature. So what I thought I would do is pull out my T3i here and just kind of show you guys how I've got the light set up. As you can see, it's over here, and it's just kind of pointing down at me. And there's my camera. And as you guys can see how I've got that set up. So for a single light, sitting about 5 feet from me, it puts off quite a bit of light. Compared to the two Cowboy Studios, which put out a little bit more light, but we're dealing with two lights versus one single light. You could probably also see it in the back right here on the picture. So I didn't really try to position it too carefully to not reflect the picture, because I wanted you guys to kind of be able to see that kind of what angle and where it's coming from. So is the light worth $210, $200? Yes, for me, I would probably pay that. the thing that kind of sucks is I'm looking at a good, to get a good, nice setup for lighting, or if you guys are doing like maybe you want to use this for green screen work or something like that, you're going to have to invest close to $800. Now, the two Cowboy Studio lights are going to run me about $250 to $300 for the set, for the two lights. Now, the problem with that is they're not portable, they're a pain in the butt to use, they're fragile. This seems to be well made. It's sitting at $200. It can run off batteries if you have to, or power, it doesn't matter. So another thing that you can do is get something like a power inverter and then grab like a car battery, connect the two together, and then you would have a portable battery that would allow you to run it through the AC if you wanted to use a larger battery. Because using secondary batteries like the Sony batteries on the back, they're not going to, the unit's not going to be as bright. It's going to be close to as bright, but not as bright. As well, the unit, once you've run those batteries down, unless you have backups, those can be kind of expensive. So instead of buying a bunch of batteries for a handful of lights, I would look at getting, like a car battery and then converting it over with like an AC, with a power inverter or something like that, allowing you to hook up 2 or 3 lights at a time, and that will last for a while. And then having a battery charger to charge your battery back up when you're done for the day would be the idea. So, yes, it's worth the money. I'm really impressed with this product. Now, if you guys know, I did their review on, actually, I've got it right here. It's their little LCD. Was not highly impressed with it. And they made some changes actually due to my review on it from what I gather. And so the product apparently is much better. Aputure, if you guys don't know much about them, they're, I believe, a Chinese-based company. They just started an American-based, out in California, American-based store, or at least warehouse, so you're not necessarily going to be having them shipped from China when you order stuff. The other nice thing is they kind of restructured their company, and they're trying to be more high-end at a lower cost price. So you're, in my opinion, we'll see some of their other products that they're going to be sending out to me. But they sent me out 2 products, the LED light and the V-Control, and so far both products have worked pretty well, and I've been pretty happy with them. So of course we'll be doing a review on the V-Control, which controls your camera, everything from follow focus to setting focus points to rack focusing. It's really nice. So if that video is done, I'll pop it up right here. If not, you're just going to get sent to a screen that says coming soon. And that's it. Pretty happy with the product. Definitely would invest in one of these if I did not get hooked up by the company. Of course, they're not paying me to say this, just doing it because it's my honest opinion, as I always am, quite honest with what I feel about products as I receive them. You guys have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Of course, check us out on all the regular social medias that's coming up right now.